Hello, this is summer 2015, question 5. Let's just do part A in this video. This question is called CS61A+, and basically the TAs are building this social networking website, CS61A+, and they plan to represent this social network in a class called network. This class called network is just going to have one method called addFriend that takes in two users, user 1 and user 2. And what it does is it adds user 1 and user 2 to each other's friends lists. If user 1 or user 2 are not already in the network, then we actually have to first add them to the dictionary of friends. And we can assume that they're not already friends. Let's take a quick look at the doc tests. So we initialize some network, and then we say Robert is Jeffrey's friend. And the network then contains this instance attribute called friends. That's a dictionary that contains a mapping, first from the word Robert to a list that contains Jeffrey. And then from the name Jeffrey to the name Robert, but a list that contains the name Robert. Then we add Jessica to be Robert's friend, and all that will do is add Jessica here, as well as add Jessica to the network, because she's not already there, and make her friends with Robert. Great, so let's implement this. We have two if statements, and presumably that's going to check if user 1 is not in the network, or if user 2 is not in the network. So if user 1 is not in, and the network is represented by this dictionary that we can get by doing self.friends. And if user 2 is not in the network, then we do something else. Finally, once they've both been added to the network, we have to add user 1 to user 2's friends list and user 2 to user 1's friends list. So we can access user 1's friends list by getting the instance attribute self.friends and accessing user 1's list. So for example, user 1 could be Robert, so then the list that we'd be accessing would be this. What we want to do to this list is add some element. So for example, we could be adding Jake. And to do that, we can just say .append user 2, which in this case would be Jake. Then finally, we'd go to Jake's list, and we'd add user 1. Now, if you'll take a look at my dictionary, there actually isn't the name Jake there, right? So if I tried to access Jake, well, I'd get an error because Jake isn't in the dictionary. So that's why we have these two if statements to actually initialize user 1 and user 2 in the dictionary if they're not already there. So if user 1 is not already there, then we want to say that self.friends of user 1 starts at an empty list, because user 1 right now has no friends, and then in this line we're actually going to add user 2 as a friend. We'll do the same thing for user 2. And that's it. I will see you in the next part.